How you doing? My name is Greybeard, and this is the Fatherhood Workshop. The reason why I call it the Fatherhood Workshop is because this is where me as a father does all my work and where I do all my activities and hobbies and all the wonderful things that you can pass down to your sons or daughters. That's what I do here. The reason why I am focusing on fathers and their kids is because women have always been praised for being mothers, no matter how good or bad of mothers they are. They have always been praised for it. You can't really lose being a single mother. You can't. You have the world backing you up. You have the world telling you that you're strong. You have the world telling you that you're the fiercest thing on the planet. But what about the fathers? What is the world telling the fathers? The world's been telling the fathers for at least 50 years that they're unnecessary and they're secondary to what the mother contributes to the household. Well, me being a full father at the time that I was a father, my sons are now totally grown. They're not 18, they're well above 18. I am not a father anymore because I've taught my sons how to comport themselves in the world that we live in. Now I want to help other fathers teach their children how to comport themselves where they're living. And if you're in the black community, our men and our sons are in danger. And one of the reasons is because they're never taught to comport themselves. They're never taught how to behave around cops. They're never taught to how to behave in situations where it might be stressful. And if you've ever measured how women handle situations around cops, you would know that men can't do the same thing. And you would have to teach men how to comport themselves as men. That's my plan. Do you know what it means to be a father? Do you know how great a responsibility it is to be a father? And I know that most fathers were not intentional. I know that people have forgotten what sex is. I know people have forgotten that sex is not about pleasure. It's about procreation. Just like breasts are not about a sexual organ, they're about feeding a child. We've forgotten the order. We're now having babies because of pleasure. We're not having babies out of duty, out of family, out of marriage, out of obligations. We're just having babies. And when you do anything with no purpose, no good comes out of it. You're not even creating decent citizens anymore. You're creating criminals. And I'm not saying all. My sons are not criminals. But this is what's going on now because there's no man leading young men. When you have young men teaching other young men how to comport themselves in the streets, it's chaos. It's like the analogy of the bull elephant with immature male elephants. When there's no bull elephant around immature male elephants, you know what they do? They kill everything around them. Things that they have no reason to kill. They kill it because they don't know what to do. But as soon as you interject a bull male elephant around these juveniles, they instantly straighten up. And that's why we have so much killing going on in our communities with these younger males. Because there's no older males there to tell them how to comport themselves or show them how to comport themselves. And as we all know, women, as much as you try, you can't raise men. Only men can do that. And I'm going to show young men how to do that because they have no idea how important they are to their children. They don't have a clue. The reason why they don't know is because they've never been told. Nobody ever calls a man important when he has a child that he wasn't trying to have. It wasn't intentional. Nobody calls him a good father. Nobody tries to get him to be with his children. What they do is they make him pay without letting him contribute to the mental state and the state stability of their children. And somebody has to show them how to be in their children's life and why it's important. It's important because this is the only thing we can do. This is the only thing men can truly create. Life where there is none. That's the greatest power on the planet. And it's only one life giver between men and women. We give life. You support it by carrying it to term. That is an important power that's been thrown away because men have been made to feel unimportant in the arena of raising children. But the point is, we bring stability. We need to take that to our children because as far as the relationships between men and women, I don't think they can be fixed. But we got to put intentionality back into sex because sex has an intention and it's not for pleasure, it's for creation. And we've just been creating through pleasure. We have to make parenthood defined again because it's not defined. It's babies being made out of sexual pleasure. This is not the way to raise anything because there is no direction. You can't really raise a well-adjusted child without direction. And if the sex is just for pleasure and not for procreation, there is no direction. Hopefully I can help and point you in the direction that you might want to go in to raise a happy, productive child. And the odds might be against you because you're dealing with a female that you didn't marry. You're dealing with a female who might think she has more entitlement to the child than you, so you're already under the gun. The only thing I can tell you about getting back on board if y'all don't get along is to mean it when you tell her how important it is for you to be in your child's life. And you have to exclude her. If you don't get along, you have to exclude her from that. But you have to make her see that this is the most important thing for you and the best thing for the child. And you have to be able to comport yourself in a way where she sees your maturity when you're speaking to her about being with your child. That's what they all need. They try to exclude men from the picture, stating that we always leave and we don't marry and all this. Good on them. What you do is figure out a way to be in your kid's life because that's the only important thing you can do. You can't build a relationship with you and her where there was none. But you can build a bond with your kids that can last forever, and I can show you how to do that. But you gotta want to do that. they have to be that important to you, and I believe that they are. I see a lot of men outside with their kids when I'm going about my day-to-day business. I see a lot of men with their kids, and the way I see it, they are very attentive. They show love, and it touches me when I see this because that's how I was with my kids. Even though me and the the mother of my children are married, and we've been married forever, that's how I was with my sons. They're the most important thing to me because they made me the man I am today. And if you put yourself in the place where you can let your children help you grow, it's the most rewarding thing on the planet. And I'll be back to speak more on this and maybe bring some topics in on fathers and sons or fathers and their children that are having a bad time, or the celebrity children and their fathers talking about their situations, and celebrity fathers with their children talking about their situation. But it's strictly about fathers and their children. And of course, hobbies, because I got a lot of hobbies. And hobbies basically bond you and your child. If you can show your child something that they've never seen, or you can teach them something that interests you and they see your passion in it, you might be able to pass on a career to your children. And I'm going to close by saying there's a lot of future benefits in raising your children. I mean, really raising them, not just they're there and really pouring into your children, pouring into teaching them things, pouring into having them laughing, pouring into enjoying the time that you have with them. And even if it's without the mother of your children, you have to make it all about them. Every every minute that you can be with them, you have to make it about them. And when you're apart, you have to make it about them. Your life should be about them. Because this is the only thing, like I said, you can create that was never here before. A replica of you. Think about how powerful that is. When you look at your kids, what do you feel when you see them? You know, when I look at my kids when I see them, when I looked at my sons when they were small, I saw my life. I saw bettering myself through them. And that's what I did. And you could do it too. And I could show you how. All you have to do is want to. Once again, my name is Greybeard. If you like what you've heard, like it, maybe share it. I hope you do. I got more coming for you. And I would like to wish you a great day and a good life. Peace.